Hello and welcome back to the tutorial series for Knuckles and Knuckles and Tails in Sonic 3 Air. Up until now we've covered up until Hydra City 2, and every single level so far we've had basically the same path for solo Knuckles and Knuckles and Tails. This level, however, is going to have a big difference in the glitch route between Knuckles and Tails and solo Knuckles. So I'm going to explain the Knuckles and Tails route first, and then we'll move on to solo Knuckles, and then we can talk about Marble Garden 2, which is only relevant for solo Knuckles. So, immediately at the start of Marble Garden 1, what you want to do is hold left a bit. You don't have to hold it like all the way down or whatever. There's kind of like, you're going to go onto a slope and you want to roll down it, so you want to hold down immediately. But the issue with that is that there's kind of like a sweet spot that I can't really explain, but you'll find it, where there's basically a sweet spot sort of to the left slightly, where if you start rolling there, you get the optimal speed between dropping and rolling and moving to the right. So I just hold left a bit, usually, and then about there is when I'll start rolling. So here I hold down the whole way pretty much, because even though that won't make you roll any more than you already are, it's going to let you roll immediately when you hit new surfaces. So at the bottom of this slope, there's kind of like a section where the slope flattens out. I wonder if I can show you that. So you can see here where the slope is starting to flatten out. You want to jump here. You don't have to, you can just keep rolling, but it's slightly faster to jump. If you're not confident with the jump, you can just roll and then hold left a little bit, and then you'll go down this tunnel. But what I usually do, because I've practiced it, is get to about there and then jump. And then you go down in exactly the same way. Apologies, I'm having a drink while we record this. So let's just show that again. So left a bit, hold down, jump into this bit, or hold down, jump, hold left a bit. Same thing, basically. Or you don't have to hold... Sorry, I jumped again. I'm so used to jumping, it's muscle memory. So just hold left a bit, and then you'll do the same thing. The jump is a teeny tiny bit faster. It doesn't make much of a difference. When you get here, you sort of want to wait till you're clear of that pillar and then jump again onto the next one, because you want to try and miss that platform at the bottom. So sort of when you think you're at a point where you can jump and not hit the pillar. You don't have to be past the pillar because that's too late. So you want to jump so that when you jump, you will be clear of the pillar. And then when you get to here, you could do a jump and try and slide off of the destructible terrain underneath you, but that's very difficult. So what I usually do is just roll to the bottom, let the spring hit me, and then you want to hold left ever so slightly to get onto the platform. Right. Now, this is what you do if you want to do the glitchless route / solo Knuckles route. If we're doing Knuckles and Tails, then we're going to do something completely different. So what we're actually going to do is jump here. So that's what happens when you mess up the jump. Not a big deal. Jump here, and then jump again. And you want to get down to the bottom of this area as fast as possible. So either you can land on this destructible terrain, or you can land on the other side and drop down, or sometimes you can clip through the destructible terrain if you jump just right. Either way, you just want to get down here. So up to the right here is a spring, and we're going to be doing a glitch that requires a memory manipulation. I don't fully understand it. We'll say, hey, Vix. I don't fully understand it, but basically, from what I understand, if that spring up there loads, you mess up the memory manipulation. So what you want to do is not go up to the right and instead drop straight down. So below us are some... And that's fine, Vix, come on in. I'm drinking too while filming a tutorial. It's going to be great. So, below us is a sort of stack of destroyable columns. And we want to just destroy the top one, because we need the bottom one to stay intact. So what we're going to do is just stand up against the right wall here, and then when the terrain underneath breaks, then Knuckles will break the top half of the column and then get pushed back a bit, and then he won't break the bottom. So as you can see, bottom one intact, top one destroyed. Perfect. Now what we want to do is wait for Tails to come down, because what we want to do is manipulate Tails so that he's going to destroy the block while we're stood on top of it. So it's a bit tricky, but essentially when Tails lands, you need to get him to hit that yellow spring. Immediately after getting him to hit the yellow spring, you're going to jump on top of the column. So, wait for Tails to come back, get him to hit the spring, and then jump. So you'll notice he's started spin dashing. I don't know why he does this, but he's doing it. So what you want to do is for him to be spin dashing, and then you to be on top of this column. And then what he's going to do is release the spin dash, and he's going to break this column while you're stood on it. And that's going to give you something called slope glitch. So as you can see now, Knuckles is standing in midair. And while in this state, Knuckles will kind of follow the trajectory of whatever the last piece of terrain that he stood on is. This also means that it can make him walk in and out of scenery, because if you angle yourself down into the ground, he will walk down into the ground. It also means that you can't crouch and thus can't spin dash. You can't grab onto walls, and if you hit certain objects like springs, boxes, or certain enemies, then you will lose the slope glitch. So you don't want to hit any of those things ideally. You want to keep slope glitch because we're going to use this in a massive way to our advantage. So you're going to come over here, and essentially what you want to do is the slope that this spiky ball is spinning around on, you want to jump onto it and then walk to the left. So you walk down into the ground, and then you're going to hold left. Like this. So now we're going to hold left, and Knuckles is progressively going to push himself into the ground. And eventually, this is going to happen, and you're going to start zipping really quickly. Okay, this is very similar to an Angel Island 2 when you get into the wall, and suddenly your controls are reversed. So I'm holding left, but I'm zipping to the right. Now, if you go too far over to the right, you will soft lock. You don't want to do that. So what you want to do is get to this position here, between these two pillars, okay? What I usually do is I wait till I see this pillar and then stop. Or I see it like coming on screen and then I stop usually. And then what you want to do is line yourself up with this green line here. Because here, on this green line, you can jump. And by jumping, if you jump into this green line, you can just drop straight down. Super easy. So now we're in regular terrain. And we're going to progress down here. Be very careful to not just run to the left or right, because you will put yourself in the ground. And sometimes you can really screw everything up by doing that. So you're going to go very carefully until you get to this piece of terrain, and you're going to roll or run down it and hold left to zip through. Very simple. So when you're here, what you're going to do is you're going to jump and go to the right slightly. This is important because the only way back up here requires you to lose slope glitch. So you want to jump and go to the right. So I've messed it up, which is amazing stuff. So this thing makes you lose slope glitch. It's gone now, which is unfortunate. But basically what you're doing when you get here is you're going up here to get this fire shield. And when you get the fire shield, roll into the box. Don't jump onto the box, because if you jump onto it or like rub up against it or something, then you will lose slope glitch. You want to roll into it to get the fire shield. This is very important for getting the slope glitch to work. So let's get back to where we're supposed to be. This one may take a few restarts because it's a very fiddly trick to talk about whilst playing. So that was the clip through the destructible platform that I was talking about. Wait for Tails, get him to spring. He destroys that. Get into the ground. Off we go. So we get here, we jump down, and then we're gonna jump through this section. Easy peasy. So now we're back to where we should have been. We're going to jump to the right. We're going to jump up here. We're going to avoid this enemy. This enemy will make you lose slope glitch if you land on top of him. Don't do that. Then we're going to roll into the fire shield. We start off slope glitch and we have the fire shield. So now, you want to get to this position, and then what you want to do is jump, and you'll land on a slope below you. You immediately want to roll. And then when you enter the ground at the bottom, you want to press right and jump at the same time. And that's going to push you straight through to the bottom. If you don't manage to get that input, don't worry. It's just really, really slow to get down. Yep, I said, Ben, don't jump on the fire shield. You have to roll into the fire shield. So, hold down, into the floor, jump and right, drops you here. So now you get over this enemy and you're literally going to use the next sloped terrain to do another zip. You hold left and you're here, then glide down to the bottom. And you're going to use this, the very edge of that piece of terrain, to get into the ground again. You don't want to go too far up because it's going to put you at a really bad angle. So yeah, just that very end of the slope, into the wall, hold left. So, now you're in the loop back area, which is an area used in order to make the terrain, like, infinitely loop, basically. It's some weird stuff. It's used in some way. But essentially what you want to do is get all the way down to the bottom. Now, there's a fast way of doing this that I can't do, nor can I explain particularly well, but Ben has made a video of a more complex route of this that I would recommend anyone looking at if they want to improve their time on this level. So, I'll link that at the bottom of the video. In the meantime, I'm just going to take the baby way down because I'm a big baby, basically. There's no other real reason for it. So, I jump every now and again down these slopes to stop myself going too fast, because you can clip into the floor again here, which is obviously bad when you have slope glitch. So I'm just making sure I don't get too stuck. Okay, so here we are, we're in this bottom section. Now what you want to do is this little piece of terrain in front of us, you want to jump on it and get the upward angle from it, and then you want to run up to the right. Here we go. And here we have this oil pit. So you're going to jump in the oil pit, but once you've jumped in, you have to very quickly get into the correct position to do the boss. So it's going to take some explaining, but I'm just going to dive right in and we'll see what happens. So I'm now in the correct position, assuming that I didn't break the memory manipulation in any way. This is where you want to be. You can just see the edge of the fire shield poking out there, so that just gives you an idea of where Knuckles is supposed to be. This is because the memory manipulation allows you to spin dash on certain points of ground, even with slope glitch. So this is one of those points. So when you get here, what you're going to do is you're going to charge a spin dash and you're going to hold it until the boss is dead. It's also vital that you have the fire shield for this, because otherwise you'll be hit by the flames under the boss, and the boss is now impossible. You've just ruined your game and your run. So, charge a spin dash, and you're going to hold it here. So the boss takes more than 8 hits to kill, it seems. Hey Ellie, yeah, it's a tutorial. So, the boss is dead. So, also, important to note, we're in the ground state. So, your controls are reversed, it's very hard to aim. So that's why getting in that position is so important, because it's not easy to do. You have to very, very, carefully angle yourself into that spot. So now you've killed the boss. Tails is down below. The capsule is going to spawn above. Now, if you jump, the camera is going to move up. And if you do that and the capsule gets too low, then you cannot hit it. You've just soft-locked your game. So what you want to do is wait over this little cavity that Tails is stood in right now until the capsule goes over your head. Then you're going to jump and drop down, and then you're going to use flight assist, so up and jump, to make Tails grab you, and then that's going to end the level, okay? So as you can see, the level is now ending. It is vitally important that when this ends, because although this was the Act 2 boss, the game thinks this is Act 1. So remember when I said in the Hydra City video that it's the fastest, or sorry, the Angel Island video, where the fastest way between stages is to quit to menu and then reload your save? That is not true in this case, because it will make you restart the level from the beginning. So what you want to do is let the score screen play out, let the little transition cutscene play out, and then it's going to take you to Carnival Night. As you can see, it says MG2 there, but we're not doing MG2, because now we're in Carnival Night. So that is how you do Marble Garden as a whole, as Knuckles and Tails, if you're doing glitched. Now, if you want to do glitchless, what I'm about to show you for Act 1 is going to work for glitchless as well. But like I said, this is a glitch tutorial, so it's not going to be about glitchless. It's going to be all about glitches. But it just so happens that the route for the next one doesn't have any glitches in, so you can do it without. Ben is sending me a link. You can tap right and jump there. Oh, okay, cool. That's also the least flattering image of me I've ever seen in my life. Well done. Anyway, let's do Knuckles' route now. So, solo Knuckles. It's gonna be the same as I mentioned before. So, roll down here, jump, jump, hit the spring, tap left a little bit, now you're on this thing. So over here you're gonna do a spin dash, and then you're gonna jump over the spikes, glide to land instantly, and then we'll spin dash from there. So here you want to spin dash, there's going to be a angled piece of terrain to your right, you're going to jump up that and glide up onto the ground so that you can immediately spin dash again. So when you're here, you're going to spin dash, and then we're going to do a very tight slope jump to get up into the little hidden area above us. Normally you're meant to approach it from above and go down, but we're doing it backwards because we're amazing. So yeah, spin dash, jump off that slope, and assuming that you make it, you can glide onto the wall. It's vitally important that you do the slope jump. If you don't do the slope jump, you can't grab the wall. So now you just want to progress up here. And then from here, what I usually do, because there's essentially another tunnel that you want to get into, but the angle's kind of tight, so what I usually do is a 3-tap, and then I do a couple of backwards presses, so a couple of left presses to slow me down a bit as I get close. And usually my reference point for that is where I'm stood now, where these rings are, so there's 2 left, that's when I try and think about jumping. So I'm in here, and just in line with those, like, 4 rings there, is when I'm going to jump. And then you're going to climb up here, okay? You don't want to hit the special stage ring, obviously. And then over here we've got the speed shoes. So I'm going to spin dash through the speed shoes, and then I'm going to jump over and go down a little gap between a platform that's moving up and down, and the next piece of terrain, to drop down to where there's some ring boxes. Very sloppy because the cycle's off. You can also do a movement where, in order to get down here, you line yourself up with these spikes, jump, and then drop through, and then you can hit all those rings as well. Either way, you just want to get through there with speed shoes. So then you're just going to hold right, you're going to get to a spinny pole thing that you go up and down, and you're just going to jump down the right-hand side to go fast, and then you're going to go all the way over to a spring at the top of a ramp. So, like that. Spring, hold left. So now we're here. What you want to do is jump at the top of this slope, and then hold right, and then you're going to glide across and get up to the next platform early. I, however, messed that up because I'm doing the tutorial, and when you pause, it messes up your inputs. So normally you would jump straight from here all the way to up here, basically. So now you need the spinning top, because Knuckles can't quite get up there on his own. So what we're going to do, get the spinning top, jump off, and then climb up here. Now normally you'd have speed shoes still, but we don't have them right now, but it's fine. I can explain the basic premise of what we're supposed to do, and then hopefully I can get a nice clean run of this for you guys when we're done. So, spin dash through here, you're going to get stopped by this crusher. When the crusher's out of the way, you're going to spin dash, and then sort of in line where that next flat piece of terrain is, the little plateau over on the right-hand side, you're going to jump very slightly, a small jump to clear a big spiky swingy ball, and then you're going to keep holding right, and hopefully that'll get you to hit a spring. So this spring. Now if you had speed shoes, if you hit that spring and then hold left a little bit in the air for a second, and then go back to holding right, you will be shot straight through this gap and over this spiky totem pole. We don't have speed shoes right now, so it doesn't work, but that's what you'd normally try and aim to do, is get over that spiky totem pole. So then you're just going to progress through here, get past that spiky ball, and then make your way up this wall. So up here we have one of the big, like, tunnels that you would normally run through with the spinning top, and it would, like, spin you around and make you go up and down. But essentially what we're going to do instead is we're going to jump, like, after going through it. We're going to spin dash from here, basically. Then we're going to jump, and we're going to glide to the left at the last moment. And then, yeah, that's, like, the fastest way to do that, so... You can grind right up against the wall here as well when you're in the glide, like, dropping state. because you're not going to grab the wall, and that's going to put you right here. What? Sorry, if you hold left. I wasn't holding left because the pause menu, again, breaks that. But yeah, you're going to land right here, but you'll be teetering, so don't spin dash, because if you spin dash, you'll go backwards into the spikes. See? You don't want to do that. So when you land here, you want to just move to the left a little bit, and then spin dash onwards. Also, hi, Graham Loves God, and Cleo Fox. How is it going? Yeah, tutorial, PogChamp. And oh, that's really sweet. Although, I do swear a lot. I'd have to say that my stream is not recommended for 3-year-old viewers, but it's down to your discretion. Anyway, we're going to spin dash. Jump down, well, not jump down this slope, sorry. So there's some issues with, like, subpixels in the slope down here. So what I've been advised to do by Ben is to not hold anything, just press down once when you hit the next slope to go into a rolling state, because we're going to try and get the fire shield, which is kind of important for Act 2. So, you're going to want to go up here. Ideally this is what happens, but sometimes that slope stops you. So anyway, we're going to get the fire shield. We're going to glide to the bottom, and then we're going to carry on through here. Get through... so we lost the fire shield. It's fine. That's for Act 2 anyway. So we're going to get through those things. Like, you can spin dash to get through faster. I'm just being lazy right now. And then we're going to get to the boss. So when you get to the boss, the fastest you can kill this with Solo Knuckles in this game, from my understanding, is a 3 cycle. So you're going to get 2 hits immediately at the start. Then you'll just follow what I do. It's kind of self-explanatory. But yeah. Also, if you have an elemental shield here, it'll make you immune to these spikes, which makes the fight so much less stressful. Okay, so I missed out on the second hit there. You meant to get 2 hits in that cycle. But it's fine, because you can get 3 hits in this one. So it's still a 3-cycle fight. So let's try and get a nice clean version of that level so that everyone can see. Okay, messed that up already. Not very clean. It's fine. The level can continue. Not enough of a jump, it's fine. That's better. Okay, not in the right spot for that, that's okay. There's the jump I was talking about earlier. Okay, messed that up. That's fine though. So long as we get over this thing. Subpixels did not mess us up. Straight through here. And on to the boss. And yeah, important to note, there's a backup fire shield in the floor, sort of just to the right of where Knuckles is stood. So if you lose your fire shield and you're desperate, you can try and get another fire shield from the signpost falling. Oh, I swear a lot, Dr. Optimal. We can't really stop that. So yeah, that was Marble Garden 1, and we'll move on to Marble Garden 2 in a second.